what's up, Ryan?
Let me tell you, Lou. As a white girl,
Okay.
I think I'm the most qualified person to open this episode tonight. This is the
Oh,
Speedy
really?
Gonzalez special, and I'm a really progressive white girl. I like listening to other people's opinions. I like letting other people speak.
Yeah?
So tonight, I am actually, I'm here to be respectful. I'm here to not speak for others. So, in honor of that, I will actually not be talking for the rest of the episode.
You'll be sitting your white ass down and listening?
This will be a night where I sit my white ass down and listen. Yes.
Wow, incredible. Well, I guess this is my show now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Looney Duels. I also want to preface this episode by saying I am Mexican American, so if I make a joke about Speedy Gonzalez, I'm allowed to.
I'm not.
Really great start to the episode. Let me put my credentials down so you know that I'm
Don't
legit,
worry,
you know?
my racism humor is gonna be okay.
No, I will tell a funny anecdote in that regard. So one time I was this was maybe like a year or so ago, so very very recently I went to go visit my mom, and I don't know how we got on the topic of like Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny and stuff, and she goes, "Do you remember Speedy Gonzalez?" And I'm like, "Of course I remember Speedy Gonzalez." And she just started like busting out laughing. And she was like, "Oh, and Slowpoke Rodriguez, oh my gosh, that was so wrong." And then she got really quiet and said, "But we can think it's funny." And I was like, okay. So, what do we do here? What are we doing? Why are we here?
This is Looney Duels. It's where we write down the stats of the Looney Tunes and determine who would win in an ultimate grand battle. Today, we finally got to Speedy Gonzalez, and I want to make something clear. It's not like we were avoiding Speedy, like for any reason. Like we were making all those jokes, but we weren't actually like avoiding him. What actually happened is our original listing for like Looney Tunes, like the episodes we were gonna do, we were doing based off what was on Max, formerly known as HBO
I was
Max.
gonna say, at the time we were using it, it was HBO Max.
And they did not have any Speedy Gonzalez shorts on there, so we just never like really got to him. It was never like we were trying to like, oh, he's forbidden, we can't speak of him. It was never that. It's just that we didn't have like on the list because the list we used didn't have him. So I made sure like, Lou, we gotta do a Speedy Gonzalez episode. And
also, sorry, to be fair, we also then started using Boomerang, which also didn't have any Speedy Gonzalez episodes or shorts.
They don't want us to know.
I don't know if there's a legit way, aside from like clips on YouTube from the official Warner Brothers YouTube. I don't think there is an official way to watch like Speedy Gonzalez shorts online. I think you get DVDs, but
yeah, it's a little because they have clips of Speedy on their channel. So they're clearly like not that opposed to showing these exist, and they still
he's in Space Jam 2.
Yeah, he's in Space Jam 2. They still market him and stuff. So I guess it's interesting. Like they don't want this on their streaming services. Like that's where they're drawing the line.
And to be fair, we're gonna be making a lot of jokes. These are all pretty incredibly like racist in a way. Now the reception to them, as some of you might know, Mexicans actually really love Speedy Gonzalez, if the anecdote from my mom wasn't enough to tell you. But make no mistakes, there are a lot of really stupid and nasty stereotypes in these shorts. But that won't matter because we're about to talk about Speedy Gonzalez, the man, the myth, the legend, and he's kind of awesome.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, I think, as a white woman, I get to speak on this. I think the reason Speedy gets a pass from so many people is just because, like, he's just kind of awesome. Like, he's just kind of the best Looney Tune, like, guy. Like, he always wins. He always outsmarts people. He's, like, really fun and energetic. Like, it's kind of hard to hate him.
Yeah, it's hard to feel, that bad about him because he's just got such an energy to him. So we watched the episode, the short, it's just titled Speedy Gonzalez. So we watched that one. We were, very happy to meet Speedy. But there is another character in this short.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
Sylvester is here guarding a cheese factory.
This is maybe his most specific role yet, is cheese factory guard.
Well, has he ever had like, or have we ever watched a short, I should say, where he's had a job
No.
like this? He's always been like homeless.
He's either homeless or very rarely with Granny.
Yeah, so this is a bit weird for him, but it's fine. Sylvester, maybe he picked up a job. He's got to eat. Whatever.
He doesn't do a very good job.
There's a bunch of mice who want to get into the factory, and we learn that Sylvester he has a body count. Like he has apparently successfully defended the cheesecake factory is what I almost thought.
The Cheesecake Factory. Sylvester
Factory.
loves the Cheesecake Factory. He's going there with his girlies every week.
He would do anything to defend the Cheesecake Factory, but he has eaten several Mexican mice trying to get in.
Yeah, there's just like this little coward mice that has to go in because like they pull straws and he loses. And Sylvester eats him, and they throw the hat into the pile. It's a pretty big pile, implying Sylvester has killed like a lot of these guys, which is
so
scary.
Is he good at killing, just bad at killing Tweety Bird?
I guess so. I guess this is like a whole
been
wrench
underestimating him
because he's a loser at every other short he's in.
He's a loser in this short too, but technically he has been successful. Like he's eaten several mice. He's a killing machine. He's, on top of it most of the time. Very dedicated to his craft.
This almost kills any sympathy I've ever had for him now because I know he's won before. So now I know the Tweety shorts, he's just being stupid and like he deserves what he's getting.
Oh my god.
Like yeah, no, he's not starving. He's eating mice like off screen. He's fine. He doesn't need Tweety Bird. He's not good enough to deserve Tweety Bird, like, getting to eat him.
So in this, the mice decide they need to reach out to Speedy Gonzalez. And the way they talk about him is like he's this, I don't know, this, like, living legend, right? Like, oh, yes. You know who we should call? We should call Speedy. And then one of the mice is like, oh, I can contact him. He's a friend of my sister's. And then this other mouse goes, Speedy's a friend of everyone's sister. Okay?
Yeah. One of the very first things you learn about Speedy Gonzalez is that he fucks.
And I believe it. The fastest mouse in all of Mexico definitely fucks.
Like, he's apparently fucking everyone's sister, so keep that in mind.
Good for him. So, of course, Speedy decides to help out, which I think speaks to his character, right? Like, he's very cocky. He's got a clearly incredible skill and ability of being incredibly fast, but he's willing to help out like the little guys, like the other mice. Like he drops whatever he's doing in a second to go help these like just random mice in the middle of nowhere trying to break into a cheese factory. So that's good for him, right? Like he's a nice guy.
Yeah, immediately off the bat, you're kind of like immediately liking him because he's helping other people. Like a lot of the Looney Tunes, like their goals are usually like to survive or to like fuck around, right? But Speedy
yeah, absolutely.
Immediately is like a hero. He's like a heroic hero. He's helping feed like the people of like these little mice, like village town people. He's a hero. He and Granny are heroes. They're the only Looney Tunes you can call heroes.
Now, at one point, Sylvester like catches something on him or something like that. And Speedy is able to pull Sylvester along as he runs. So
he does some shit. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, so this leads me to believe that, it'd be one thing if Speedy was really fast. Like, the Roadrunner is really fast, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think the Roadrunner is, like, physically strong,
No.
But Speedy clearly is. Like, he has greater strength than you would imagine looking at his little tiny mouse body. he's quite powerful.
Do we want to get just right into like the most insane thing he does in this short, which is he goes so fast, he runs into Sylvester's mouth that he just runs out the other side of Sylvester, tearing a hole in his tail, and then on the way back, he goes through Sylvester again.
Yeah, he goes out of the way to like stop and go back through Sylvester's tail and through his body.
So Speedy Gonzalez is powerful and fast enough to tear apart bodies. So write that down.
he's kind of like a living bullet in that regard, right? Like if Speedy like jumped up and like ran and jumped up at you and like tore through your chest, like in your heart, he'd probably kill you like immediately.
I think it's also worth noting, anytime like someone tries to grab Speedy, like Sylvester uses a net to try to grab Speedy. Speedy just drags them along.
Yeah, exactly. So that you, even if you catch him, like you're going with him. Like he's going to take you for a ride.
You're his now. You made the mistake of trying to catch Speedy Gonzalez. Now you're on the roller coaster. There's no getting off.
And then another thing too, Sylvester, to his credit, starts to kind of try like new things. Like he's trying a lot of stuff here, stuff that we don't usually see him try. And at one point, Speedy runs at him, and Sylvester catches him with a baseball glove. And he accidentally caught like an actual baseball. Oh, whatever. He throws the baseball aside. But little do we know, the baseball is actually Speedy in a clever disguise. So Speedy switches it up. Like he's not going to just do the same thing over and over again. When he notices his opponent is like learning and adapting, he's like, okay, I can't just be fast now. Now I gotta be a little sneaky with it too.
Yeah, so not only is he fast and powerful, he's also clever.
Yes, he's got a brain in there. You know, he thinks about things.
Which again, I think makes him better than Roadrunner automatically.
Yeah, because Roadrunner, Wily's incompetence more than anything, and Wily's like curse that has been placed upon him that we have talked about. So go back an episode or 10 and you'll discover the episode where we talked about Wile E. Coyote being actually cursed. Those are the things that save Roadrunner. Speedy, on the other hand, not only has like the physical strength and the speed and the smartness and the like, he's charismatic and he's so handsome. I love him. I think Speedy definitely has immediately become like he's kind of scaring me a little, honestly. Like when I think about him against some of our like top hitters, he kind of got up there really fast.
Elmer Fudd wouldn't last a second with Speedy
absolutely
Gonzalez.
absolutely not. So this short ends with Sylvester blowing up the cheese.
Don't really get what he was going for with that, I gotta say, by the way.
Well, because with Speedy boasts, like he keeps going back and forth between the factory and like the mice, who are now set up in like bleachers, like watching this like it's like a show, which is adorable. And Speedy is like, now for this this trick, I'm gonna go in and do this. And then he's like, I'm gonna get all of the cheese. So I think Sylvester's goal, he like gathers the cheese and he like gets like a bunch of dynamite and he's like, okay, you take one step towards this and I'm gonna blow it up. And then ends up blowing it up anyway, and all the cheese goes everywhere. And it rains down on the mice, and it's a good day. And Sylvester like beats his head on a pole.
But I don't get it. He was protecting the cheese. Why is he destroying it?
I guess at that rate, he was more just kind of mad that a mouse had gotten like past him so many times. Because I mean, if you look at his pile of mice hats from the beginning of the short, he has succeeded quite a lot of times. Like this is the first time a mouse has like tripped him up.
So he definitely got fired, by the way.
Oh, yes. So Sylvester loses his job, probably. Definitely, actually. There's no way he's recovering from this. And Speedy gets to just be Speedy.
He blew up all the cheese.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way.
Speedy won, by the way. I don't know if you even need to hear that, but Speedy won.
Yeah. Sorry, just so you know. Our next short is Mexicali Schmoes. And this kind of broke our rule a little bit, but just because it was recommended to us this episode, this stars Speedy and like some like cat characters who I don't know if they appear again, but it's Jose and Manuel are their cat characters. They are just lounging about as cats do, and they are hanging out. They're like, you know what, we're really hungry, we should eat like a mouse. And they're like, oh, no, you can't eat Speedy. He's the fastest mouse in all of Mexico. You just can't do that.
I want to give you an update real quick on Jose and Manuel. They do appear again.
Oh.
But they're crows?
Oh? They transformed?
They have been mice, cats, and crows.
That's lovely. You know what? Maybe we need to look into that. But like
There is a
magical transforming characters.
Yeah, there is a duo of like sombrero wearing like characters named Jose and Manuel in multiple shorts, and they change species like in almost all of them.
That's beautiful.
But they're apparently like almost always like characterized the same.
That's good. I liked them. I thought they were funny. So I do like how every time somebody mentions Speedy so far, it's been in this like, oh man, that's Speedy. You don't know Speedy? Oh, that's Speedy. You can't mess with him. Like he's gonna fuck you up if you try and get Speedy. Which I guess his reputation is that, you know, big. People know about him. Do you think the other Looney Tunes like know about Speedy before meeting him?
Sylvester clearly didn't. I don't know. I'm like thinking about that. Maybe
they're not as like cultured.
Right.
Because the cat characters, Jose and Manuel, are Mexican cats. Yes. So maybe they only know about him because they live in Mexico.
Yeah, Speedy's maybe like a local legend.
Okay, so like now he's starting to like expand his territory when it comes to the other Looney Tunes.
And when Elmer's like a white ass comes to Mexico to try to shoot Speedy Gonzalez for whatever reason, he's gonna get his world destroyed because he doesn't know the legends.
So they're trying to catch him. They do all sorts of stupid shit. They like put landmines down. They, you know, try and catch him in a net or something again. You know, they try and throw like a party. They're like, "Oh, Speedy, come out! It's a party!" And Speedy comes out and starts dancing because, of course, he does. He's so cute. He just starts doing a little dance. And then they also try a trick that they say they saw the Gringo Bugs Bunny do. So,
now that's interesting.
Yeah, so I guess Bugs Bunny
is white, first of all.
Yeah, and he is well known to other tunes and regions as well. So I think they even mentioned specifically like they saw him like in a short, like they saw him on TV or like a movie or something. So, you know, I guess Bugs is just that, you know, worldwide, you know, Mr. Worldwide, Bugs Bunny.
I think on the timeline that we're witnessing right now, we're still in the early days of Speedy where he's only a local legend, and Bugs is already like a worldwide legend. But Speedy, you know, don't sleep on him. He might be a worldwide legend someday soon.
He might be in Space Jam too.
They won't put him in the basketball game, but he'll be there.
He'll be there in spirit. He'll be there for the funny Matrix parody scene.
Yeah.
Another character that makes an appearance here is Speedy's cousin, Slowpoke Rodriguez. Now, I describe him as that. I'm pretty sure they're cousins. I don't think it's mentioned in this short that they are, but for some reason, I'm like dead certain. And I don't know if that's something like I made up in my mind or like my mom told me. But you know what? Let's Google it together. Is Slowpoke Rodriguez Speedy's cousin?
Can't wait to figure out.
Yes. Okay. They are according to this Google search. He is the cousin of Speedy Gonzalez. Slowpoke Rodriguez is what his name sounds like, I guess. He's a slow-moving mouse. Talks very slowly. He's like, you know, just kind of living his life. They decide to go for him, the cats do, because, of course, why not? He's the easier get. So they go to his house, they pick him up, they're about to eat him, and then I think it's like Manuel who's like, oh wait, I forgot, like the one like thing that Slowpoke Rodriguez has, it's a gun.
he just has a gun. Like, it's not like an iconic gimmick of his. You just need to know he does have a gun.
And he will shoot you with no questions asked. And he does shoot the cat, and he's let go, and he just kind of walks back into his little mouse hole. And you know what? I think that's beautiful. Slowpoke Rodriguez is a friend and ally of Speedy Gonzalez, and I think Speedy would, you know, always look out for him, you know, his cousin. But maybe he doesn't have to look out for him that much. Yeah, he doesn't have to look out for him.
He's got a fucking gun.
He seems like a sharp shooter, too.
Like, a lot of Looney Tunes with guns, like Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam, they're not very good at shooting their gun. But Slowpoke Rodriguez has no problem shooting his gun and, like, landing that bullet.
God.
Elmer Fudd will miss 20 times as short. Slowpoke Gonzalez is not missing.
No, absolutely not. If he aims to kill. So again, this is just another short where we kind of just see Speedy in his element, kicking ass, running around real
Oh,
fast.
we didn't talk about Speedy's like favorite move to do. He loves this move. It's when someone's like looking behind a wall to like check on Speedy to see if he's fallen into their trap. He loves to sneak up on people and then yell Arriba to scare them, and then they almost always fall into the trap they set.
That happened in the previous one too, like almost
Yes.
exactly the same trap. Sylvester sets a bunch of landmines, is like waiting behind something to see if Speedy, runs into them, and then Speedy comes behind him and like yells, and the same exact fucking thing happens in this
He
one.
loves this trick. He loves it. That's his favorite.
He loves to just sneak behind you and give you a little, like, just jump,
Just a little.
I do like that, despite how strong Speedy supposedly is, he doesn't really lay hands on other people,
He doesn't need to.
You're right. He doesn't need to, but I'd be curious to see what kind of damage he could do if he was trying to, like, punch you or something.
Yeah.
So Speedy wins. He gets away. I mean,
Yeah.
what else would happen? It's Speedy fucking Gonzalez. Notice a pattern yet?
Slowpoke Rodriguez also won.
Yeah, Slowpoke Rodriguez also won. He cannot be denied that win there. It's a double win for them. Now, the next one we have is called Feather Finger. This one is interesting.
I want to get some context to the viewers who aren't, like, huge Looney heads.
Okay.
And just kind of watch this casually. At some point, like, in the Looney Tunes history, they kind of stopped making Bugs Bunny shorts. I don't remember the exact reason. I heard, like, they had so many they didn't need anymore, or there was some weird rights stuff going behind the scenes somehow. But for whatever reason, they weren't making Bugs Bunny shorts anymore. But Daffy and Speedy were the two most popular Looney Tunes at the time. So instead of making just separate shorts for either of them, they just kind of started making Speedy and Daffy shorts. And a lot of them aren't very good. This one's fine. This one's earlier on, so it's not the worst. We'll get to when it gets bad. But Daffy and Speedy paired together is kind of a side of like the low point of the Looney Tunes for your little history lesson there. So if you're wondering why these two are paired together for some reason, that's why.
It's such a weird pairing though, because I don't think it works very well. Like, they're not really that funny against each other. Individually, I think Daffy is pretty funny in this one. In Featherfinger, I think it's fine. But, I don't know, they feel very distant with each other.
Daffy works really good when he has, like, someone to kind of talk to. Like, when he's with, like, Porky, they can kind of talk to each other. When he's with, like, Bugs, they can kind of talk to each other. Speed doesn't really, like, stop to talk to, like, his enemies. He's very much a get the action done kind of guy.
Yeah, he'll run around, he'll make a mess, he'll ruin your plans, and he'll save the day. But he's not gonna like sit and have like tea with you or have like a banter with you. Really, he doesn't really have time for that. He's a go kind of guy. He's got places to go. He's got towns to save. He's probably got like so many people's sisters to fuck. So he's got to go. He doesn't have time for this. So this is a little town. Daffy is homeless. He needs to make some money, make it fast, so he decides to apply to this job listing from the mayor about like, oh, I need a sharpshooter. So he shows up with a gun and a big old hat. He's like, I can take care of your problem. The problem is Speedy Gonzalez. I guess it's not set out right. It's implied that he's like crossing the border or something. I don't know. There's like a line drawn and he keeps going over it. It's whatever.
I do. We need to talk about Daffy Duck's racism.
Do we?
I think it's important to his character to mention he's a bit racist in this one.
He does
not like Mexicans.
No, he doesn't. It's very weird. I don't like seeing Daffy like that. He's just uninformed. He's just naive. I'm drinking like denial juice right now. Please. Not Daffy. Anyone but Daffy.
Do we want to talk about real quick also Daffy's like $15 a week pay he's going to get?
He's so excited about the $15 a week that he's gonna get from this job. So he tries all sorts of stuff on Speedy. He tries to catch him, all sorts of stuff. Does not try the landmine trick, so good for him.
He learned.
But this is the thing that made me gasp. At one point,
yes.
Daffy, is talking to Speedy for like a second. the like few moments they talk to each other. He pulls out his gun, points it at Speedy. And when I say point, I don't mean in like the general direction. I mean maybe like a centimeter of space between the barrel of the gun and Speedy Gonzalez's face.
Yes.
And he pulls the trigger. And Speedy is nowhere to be seen. And at first I thought, oh, of course, Speedy dodged the bullet, right? He just moved out of the way because he's that fast. No, that is wrong. What instead happened was Speedy was so fast and strong that as the bullet was being shot, he grabbed onto the bullet. And like turned around, like he like grabbed on the bullet, ran a little bit away, turned around, and then put the bullet back in the barrel of the gun.
So, really let this sink in. Speedy Gonzalez can not only outrun bullets, he can grab the bullets as they move, no problem, stop them, and then put them back.
What? Where has this guy been? Mexico, probably. Like, this entire time, we've been talking about all these Looney Tunes and their incredible feats, and there's just this, like, random mouse who could do all this incredible shit. What is he doing?
My jaw was on the floor when he just grabbed the bullet and put it back. Like, no damage done to him. He's defensively powerful. The bullet does nothing.
That means that, like, any Looney Tunes character with a gun that goes up against him, they're going to have to try something else. Like Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd. Like, none of those characters are going to be able to touch Speedy with a gun.
No, not at all. So, we're already, like, writing down on your stats, Speedy Gonzalez could not be stopped with a gun. That fucks over so many... I bet if Marvin shot, like, a ray gun, Speedy would still just grab it.
He'd find some way to, like, grab the, like, beam. Or, like, knock it over or something. I don't know. He would figure it out. It's Speedy fucking Gonzalez. Of course he would. I will say, I did like this line from Daffy. He's, like, talking about, how, like, the job is becoming difficult. He's trying to shoot this stupid mouse. He can't do it. And he's like, well, $15 is $15. So, as always, Daffy is thinking dollar signs more than anything. He just needs to make that fucking cash. So how does he actually catch Speedy? Because at one point, he just kind of grabs him.
Yeah, that's about it. He just kind of grabs him, really.
Maybe Speedy was, like, kind of over it at that point. He's like, all right, let's figure out what this is all about. So he lets Daffy grab him, I guess.
I think Speedy has no fear. Like, I think he just kind of let Daffy grab him to see what would happen more than anything.
So he brings him over to the mayor, and since it's only been like an hour since he took the job, the mayor pays him like a 1% of like the $15 and like a week like price he initially offered. So he takes Speedy from Daffy and he's like gonna eat him. The mayor, I think I didn't mention the mayor's a cat.
Yeah, that's important to know.
The mayor is a cat, so he tries to eat Speedy, and Daffy like looks at the small like pennies in his hands and he like snatches Speedy back and like lets Speedy go and is like pissed off about it. But Speedy just kind of leaves and the cat beats the shit out of Daffy. That's
such
the
a
end.
Weird ending.
You would think that like Speedy would help him out, though. I kind of was a little disappointed that Speedy didn't help him out there. I guess it makes sense that Daffy was trying to kill him.
It is such a weird ending. Like, oh, by the way, Daffy's going to get beat up and then probably starve to death.
Yeah, Daffy won't have any money. He has no prospects. He's in the middle of nowhere. Poor guy. But Speedy's okay.
Speedy's okay. As if there was any doubt. He won.
Oh my gosh, do you hear that, Ryan?
What?
I hear a rumbling in the distance. It sounds like...
What?
It sounds like the next short. It's coming over the horizon. Hold on, I'm taking a peek. What could it be? Oh, it's shit. It's shit, Ryan. It's really bad.
No, it was awesome. The next short is See You Later Gladiator. This is an infamous short. This is considered by many, I believe, from what I've read and like seen, to be possibly the worst Looney Tunes short ever.
And
it's considered wrong. It's considered one of the worst.
To describe this short and the abilities shown in the short, I feel like I feel like I can't say anything about the characters in this short because Daffy and Speedy star in it. Sure. There's also like a weird scientist character and like a gladiator character and like a Roman fiddle player character and and there's a time machine.
Uh-huh.
There's a lion at one point.
There definitely is.
That's cool. I don't know.
So I wanna give a little context to this one I just learned. This was the last Looney Tunes short they did before they started doing Cool Cat and like Merlin the Magic Mouse. This is the finale to like the original Looney Tunes, basically.
Dang, that's sad. It's just very disjointed.
And this might have killed the Looney Tunes, apparently.
It's so like I feel bad in one regard because you can tell it's like cheaply made. Like there's a lot of reused animation or really stilted animation. There's a lot of like really off model looking stuff, and not like like Looney Tunes has always been kind of flowy and free with its designs, but some of this stuff looks a little rough. And it's like such a weird setup. Daffy is working for a scientist, and he's annoyed because outside the window, Speedy, who is apparently in a band, is like making too much noise. And Daffy's like, ooh, how I hate that like Mexican music. Damn, Daffy.
You can really like see like the peak of like them just putting these two guys together in any way, shape, or form. Like right here.
Yeah, like what sense does any of this make at all? And then they use this time machine that the scientist made, accidentally go back in time to like ancient Rome, and then it's a whole thing with like a gladiator pit and these lions and the chariot chase, and like the only thing I can say about like any stats we need to actually talk about is apparently Speedy keeps a bunch of chili peppers in his hat, which is great, cool. Whatever.
One of his items.
It's one of his iconic items. Add it to his inventory. He has like a little bag of chili peppers. He feeds one to a lion so that it stops chasing him or trying to eat him. And it makes the lion, ooh, it's all red, and it's too hot.
He blows into fireworks. Speedy Gonzalez is like weirdly kind of like soy in this short. He doesn't do any of his awesome moves. He just kind of like he's not Speedy Gonzalez. He's like Speed Limit Gonzalez in this one.
Speed Limit Gonzalez. No, he doesn't do any like amazing tricks or like runs really that fast ever in this short. Like he's getting chased around by a lion and he doesn't even really fucking move. Like Daffy runs more than he does in this short, I feel like. Speedy's just kind of there for the ride, and I don't know if it's that kind of like I don't know if it's that kind of energy that Bugs Bunny sometimes has in his shorts where he just like doesn't move or like respond to people because he's like above it all. But it's like such a weird thing for a character named Speedy Gonzalez for him to just kind of be taking it in stride. He doesn't, I don't even think he says Arriba, Arriba.
No, he doesn't do much in this short. Daffy does like all the talking too.
It's very weird. Like Speedy and Daffy like standing next to each other, they like look so off. Like they don't seem like they know each other or really care about each other or have a funny dynamic with each other at all. Like their dynamic in the Looney Tunes show is funnier than any of the shorts we've seen with them together.
Yeah, probably.
But I guess this is the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, almost no stats to like note in this one. This is just like the stat in this one is the end of Looney Tunes.
Which is so oh, it's horrible. What a horrible short to end everything on. I think we found the short pretty easily. If you look it up, you'll be able to find it. Just watch like a little bit of it. You'll see what we're talking about. Like I feel like it's very hard to describe it, and I feel very like mean like describing it like that. But it's genuinely like not good. It's just really, really not good. Well, I think I've learned a lot about Speedy Gonzalez. What about you? You feel like you've learned a lot?
I've learned so much about Speedy Gonzalez. I've learned about his high highs and his soy era. But I'm willing to forgive him on that. I'm not gonna blame him for that. Things were different for a bit.
I feel like Speedy has quickly become, a top dog here, even just from the few shorts we've seen. So it'll be interesting to see how he might play off of others, in the hypothetical Looney Tunes Battle Royale Fortnite PUBG fight that will eventually happen. So yeah, I guess we'll have to look forward to that.
All right, I actually have one or two questions here. This is from actually the episode before the last episode.
Okay.
Because we didn't really get any common questions on the last episode because it was a gaming episode. So I don't
a
think
totally retro gaming episode.
Let's see. From Angler3617, which Looney Tune character would you like to see the most in the Lunatics universe, and what would their superpower be? Speedy Gonzalez.
So, I was gonna say, is Speedy in that show at all?
I don't think so. I'll double check, but I don't think so.
I think it would have been cool for him to be there as kind of like a Zorro type, just
okay.
like a masked, vigilante guy, I don't know.
He shows up
cool.
to help. He shows up to help the Lunatics sometimes, like he's not on the team.
Yeah, like he could be like a side character, or like when they have the big like mid-season finale, he shows up, to help out, along with the other superheroes they've made friends with.
He's like, I work alone, but if you ever need me, I'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he answers the call. I think he would have easily fit in. I think he and like his okay, hold on, everyone stop. Okay, so here's how his introductory episode would happen. The team's hanging out, they're doing whatever. They get this like alert from that computer lady who I forgot the name of, and she's like, "There's these weird like vortex tornadoes in the city. Go, check them out." And then it turns out it's Speedy. He just happens to be passing through. Maybe he's fighting like his own bad guy or something who was like, he chased them all the way here. And at first, there's a little bit of tension between him and Rev Runner because they basically do the same thing where they run really fast.
And the Speedy one will be cooler. Like,
cooler. Everyone on the team keeps like, being like, wow, Speedy, like, we never thought to use super speed like that. Like, maybe Speedy does like a specific move that like Rev Runner could do, but he just never has. And then Rev starts to get really like jealous and sad because like he feels like the team is gonna replace him or something. And he's like, maybe he has like a Yowie moment with the Wile E. Coyote character or something. I don't know. But that's how the episode would go. And then it turns out, Speedy gets like captured or like incapacitated in some way. And then Rev has to use his own unique brand of speediness to like help him out. And then they like, Speedy's like, I really respect you, Rev. And they respect each other. And then Speedy like takes the bad guy and he's like, I'm going to go back to my city. But, catch y'all later, let me know if you ever need help. And then he runs away. There's my episode. They should have fucking hired me to write Lunatics. I could have done it. I could have done a great job. You know what? Every show is getting like a crappy reboot nowadays. Let me do the Lunatics reboot. I know everyone hated it. I don't care. I will make it good.
You have to make it like nostalgic and epic on Twitter first.
Yeah, sorry. We have to like do the resurgence. We got to like run clips of it on YouTube for free so people will watch it.
You gotta like make some tweets like, okay, I'm just gonna say people only dislike the show because YouTubers told them to, and then you can like rehabilitate like the image of Lunatics Unleashed.
We're gonna do it. What's the next question? Sorry, I got really into that.
This is from Donkey Spittle. What if Daffy and Bugs are the last two combatants, but instead of killing, they just start having gay sex?
That is beautiful and would probably happen, but one of them has to die.
I think they would have gay sex, and then Bugs would like have like a stick of dynamite where his pee-pee would be. He blows Daffy up.
Oh yeah, you want to suck on this? And then Daffy looks down to suck his dick, and it's done.
That's how he wins.
Oh, incredible. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Leave us a lot of questions, comments, whatever. The next big event we'll probably do is we'll probably watch Back in Action. Eventually, maybe soon. Come on, you want to see it, right? You want to see us talk about Back in Action. You want to see us talk about the funny Acme CEO guy, right, with the glasses. You know what I'm talking about.
You want to see talk about the CGI robot dog?
Yeah, you want to see it. Come on. All right, that's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Listening. Whatever. Bye bye.